Have you ever found yourself in a conversation, wondering what the other person is truly thinking? Their words might say one thing, but their eyes, their hands, or the way they shift in their seat suggest something completely different. Imagine having the ability to uncover those unspoken truths, to see beneath the surface, where thoughts and feelings hide in plain sight. What if I told you that mastering this skill is not about magic or mind reading? It's about understanding the language we all speak silently. It's a language as old as time, taught by ancient philosophers and practiced by wise monks. A language of gestures, expressions, and subtle movements that reveal more than words ever could. In this video, you'll discover techniques inspired by ancient wisdom that will allow you to decode these silent messages. Stay with us until the end, and you'll learn how to see beyond words and understand people at a deeper level. You might be surprised to find that the world has always been telling you its secrets. You just need to learn how to listen. A long time ago, in a small monastery nestled in the mountains of Tibet, a young monk named Tenzin struggled with an important lesson. He was eager, filled with curiosity, but there was one thing he couldn't understand: how his master, an old monk named Dorje, seemed to know what people were feeling without them ever saying a word. One morning, as the mist hugged the mountains, a weary traveler arrived at the monastery gates. He smiled politely and spoke calmly, asking for shelter. But Dorje simply shook his head and said, "You're not here for shelter. You seek something you've lost." Tenzin was baffled. The man had said nothing about losing anything. How could Dorje possibly know? After the traveler left, Tenzin finally asked, "Master, how did you know what he really wanted?" Dorje smiled softly. "The body never lies, Tenzin." His eyes were calm, but his hands trembled. His voice was steady, but his feet shifted nervously. His words spoke of shelter, but his body spoke of loss. This moment changed everything for Tenzin. He realized that words are often masks, but the body reveals the truth if you know how to look for it. Tenzin spent years mastering the art of observation, and through it, he learned to understand people in ways he never thought possible. He learned that to see someone clearly, you must first learn to listen, not to their words, but to their silent language. This ancient wisdom, passed down through generations, holds the key to understanding others deeply. And today, you're going to learn these techniques for yourself. First technique: observing the eyes. In the monastery, Dorje once told Tenzin, "The eyes are like windows, but they don't just show the outside world, they reveal what's within. The eyes are the most expressive part of the body. They betray emotions that words try to hide. When someone is genuinely happy, their eyes light up, forming small crinkles at the corners. This is called a Duchenne smile, a true sign of joy. When someone is nervous or uncertain, their gaze might flicker around, avoiding direct contact. Imagine you're speaking with a friend who insists they're fine, but their eyes keep darting away, as if searching for an escape. This hesitation often signals discomfort or a hidden worry. Next time you're in a conversation, notice the other person's gaze. Are they holding steady eye contact? If their eyes keep moving, ask yourself, is there something they're not saying? Perhaps they're uncertain or holding back a truth. Remember the traveler at the monastery. His eyes were calm on the surface, but they couldn't mask the tremble of his true anxiety. Dorje knew that the eyes often play a game of concealment, but the truth peeks through if you're attentive enough. In a world of constant distractions, learning to observe someone's eyes teaches us patience and focus. When you truly look, you'll see more than you ever expected. Second technique: reading facial micro-expressions. Dorje once tested Tenzin by telling him a simple but profound truth. A smile can lie, but a twitch of the mouth cannot. Micro-expressions are those fleeting facial movements that last just a fraction of a second. They are quick, involuntary reactions that reveal genuine emotions before the brain has time to hide them. These tiny movements can show anger, sadness, disgust, or fear, even when someone is trying to mask those feelings. For example, someone may offer a polite smile while their lips tighten briefly, a subtle sign of frustration or discomfort. A slight furrow in the brow, barely noticeable, can betray sadness even when someone claims to be happy. During a discussion, if someone's face briefly flashes a micro-expression of anger, perhaps a quick narrowing of the eyes or a clench of the jaw, before they return to smiling, Take note. They may be hiding their true feelings behind social niceties. Tenzin learned to read micro-expressions during long conversations with travelers. One evening, a merchant praised the monastery's hospitality, but his lips curled for just an instant into a sneer. Tenzin caught it. The man, it turned out, had plans to deceive the monks into giving him free supplies. The face speaks a language older than any words. By learning to see these micro-expressions, you're learning to understand the stories that people don't dare to tell aloud. Third technique, interpreting body gestures. Dorje often said, the hands speak their own truth. When the tongue lies, the hands confess. Our bodies are always communicating. Nervous tapping, crossed arms, clenched fists. All of these gestures convey meaning. For instance, when someone crosses their arms tightly during a conversation, it may signal defensiveness or discomfort. When they lean in closer, it often means they're engaged and interested. Imagine you're negotiating a deal. The person in front of you agrees verbally, but they keep fidgeting with their fingers, or their feet point toward the door. These signs suggest hesitation or a desire to leave. They're not as committed as their words suggest. One afternoon, a hunter visited the monastery, claiming he sought enlightenment, but as he spoke, his fingers kept brushing the hilt of his weapon. Tenzin noted this subtle gesture and realized the man's mind was still anchored in violence and conflict. He wasn't ready for peace. The body is an honest storyteller. When words deceive, gestures expose the hidden truth. Learning to read these signals teaches us to listen, not just with our ears, but with our eyes and intuition. Practical applications. Understanding these techniques is not about becoming a mind reader. It's about becoming more attuned to the unspoken language we all share. By observing the eyes, micro-expressions and gestures, you open a door to deeper connections and clearer insights into those around you. These skills can help you in various aspects of life. When you're speaking with a loved one, pay attention to their eyes. Do they sparkle with joy, or do they seem clouded with worry? Their gaze may tell you things their words cannot. If their eyes reveal hidden sadness, you can offer support without waiting for them to ask. In professional settings, reading micro-expressions can help you understand what your colleagues or clients are truly feeling. During a meeting, if someone's mouth tightens briefly or their brow furrows for a split second, you might realize they have doubts or concerns they aren't expressing openly. This awareness allows you to address issues before they grow into bigger problems. When negotiating or making decisions, gestures can be your guide. If someone agrees to a plan but their hands are restless, or their feet point toward the door, trust your instincts. Their body is signaling hesitation, and it might be worth clarifying their true stance. Try applying these techniques in everyday conversations. The next time you're talking with a friend, colleague, or even a stranger, take a moment to observe. What do their eyes say? What flashes of emotion cross their face? How do their hands or posture support or contradict their words? Ask yourself these questions. What story are their eyes trying to tell? What fleeting emotion did their face just reveal? Are their gestures aligned with what they're saying, or do they hint at a deeper truth? Every interaction becomes an opportunity to see more clearly, to connect more deeply, and to understand more profoundly. Conclusion. You now hold the keys to unlocking the silent language of the mind. By observing the eyes, reading fleeting micro-expressions, and interpreting subtle gestures, you can peer beyond the surface of words and see what lies beneath. This ancient wisdom, passed down through centuries, isn't just about understanding others. It's about being present, patient, and truly mindful of the world around you. When you practice these techniques, you're not just improving your interactions, you're strengthening your intuition and deepening your awareness. The world is constantly speaking to you through these silent signals. When you listen closely, you'll notice that the truth is always within reach, hidden in plain sight. Remember, the goal is not to judge or manipulate, but to understand and connect. Each person's body language tells a story. When you learn to read it, you open the door to empathy, trust, and deeper relationships. As you move through your day, let this awareness be your guide. Thank you for sharing this journey with us. Your time and attention are deeply appreciated. If you found these insights valuable, consider sharing them with others who seek understanding and clarity. Keep observing, keep learning, and keep growing. The world has so much more to reveal if you know how to see it.